Okay, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the LG Xboom ON5. This retails for £300 here in the UK at the moment. I got this one from Currys. It's got two 2-inch tweeters, which you can see just in the gap below the disc tray there. And you've got one 8-inch woofer, which is obviously the big thing with the lights at the bottom. This has actually got a radio antenna, as do some of the others I'm going to be reviewing at the moment. These are effectively in the range of like a budget party speaker. So I guess that's why it's got things like radio and a disc tray and stuff, because it's appealing to some cheaper forms of technology, if I'm honest. We've got a remote with this as well, which is quite interesting. Looks like a TV remote. I don't have an LG TV, but I imagine this is exactly what an LG TV remote would look like, but just for the speaker. But to be fair, can't knock. Oh, they didn't give me batteries, which isn't very nice, but can't knock it because it's quite nice, to be honest, just to be able to turn it off from a distance. If it's sitting in the corner of the room and you're sat down on the other side, there's actually quite a lot to be said for just being able to turn it on and off from the other side of the room. So I actually do quite like that. Not that it needs to be that big or look like a TV remote necessarily, but whatever really, it serves a purpose, and that's fine. Has to be mains powered. Obviously, we've got a DC input into the back. 14.1 kilos it weighs. So you expect there to be some oomph out of this thing, hopefully. They haven't given a wattage number, although I expect it to be around 200, around that area. Maybe not from listening to it, but just from the claims and from the size of the woofer and stuff like that. We've got mic and guitar inputs as well on this thing. So if you're looking to do a bit of karaoke, then this has got you all set up. We'll have a look at the things on the top here. So we've got a little screen which attempts to tell you what's going on. Power button, whatever that means. You've got some USB ports, which to be fair is nice charging, and you've got a little kind of slot to slip your phone in or something, or a tablet. You've got buttons for lighting, to change your mic. You've got an eject for your disc tray, which is nice to have, obviously. You've got this button, which does something, change the EQ mode, but very hard to actually land on the one you want. The button doesn't do anything for the first couple turns, see what I mean? And then it starts going. Sometimes it just doesn't do anything at all. So really hard to actually choose what you wanted, to be honest. We've got other options on here, and then on this side we've got our volume up, which ironically isn't a dial like this. It's just a cheap feeling clicky button, which is nice. We've got our pause, skip, and whatever that means, up for mic and guitar. So to be honest, some pretty standard buttons. Around the back we've got the DC input at the bottom. We've got the antenna for the radio and the mic and guitar in. That's literally all we've got around the back. It does have handles on either side to help you lift it, which is nice. And it does have lighting at the bottom, and it's not too bad. Obviously, LG do know what they're doing in that realm. So it doesn't look too cheap. It looks quite nice, and it does dance along with the music. So, pretty good. You've got an app, as you can see. Although the picture they've given me on the LG app here doesn't look the same as the thing I've got in front of me. The tweeters are above the speaker, and then you've got the grill, and there's no disc tray in that picture, and there's lights at the top and bottom. That's not going on here, so I'm not really sure what's going on with this picture, to be completely honest. But otherwise, it's a pretty decent app, and it is something that you'd use because you want to be able to choose these EQs, and as I've just proved, you really can't do that very easily on the actual speaker itself. So it's nice to be able to do that within here. Auto power management. We've got, just a standard type of thing, software updates. This is fully updated, by the way. So you've got everything in here that you need, if I'm honest. So quite nice. We're now going to play Everything by Diamond Eyes at 80% volume. And then I'll let you know what I think afterwards.
I'm on my own, broken alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. We're searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Just stare, 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the storm.
So that's that. Now, from where I'm sitting, £300 this thing costs, remember. You're not getting half of that money's worth here, in my eyes. I was really disappointed by this. Don't get me wrong, there's not a good reputation around these speakers, and I had an idea going in that it was going to be quite disappointing. I was even told by the bloke in Curry's that these are trash and you don't want them. So I think he was probably quite confused when I went ahead and bought it. But yeah, I have been told before that they're not very good. Hence why it's taken me so long to ever review one, because I've never heard anything good about them. So why bother? But here we are. I did want to get a proper listen for myself, and I understand. It's a very average party speaker. It's got some weird additions like the radio and the dish tray and the clicky cheap buttons on top and the shiny weird plastic, and the app doesn't really match up. And yeah, they haven't given a wattage output, but let's just say it's not a £300 one. If this was £150, I'd say go for it. But for 300, I mean, for £50 more, you could get a Party Box 110, the JBL one, or I mean, just so many things. To be honest, that just absolutely swamp this in literally every way. If you want some more examples of that, then you can watch my video, which should be coming up very soon if it isn't already, where I do like 3 of these kind of budget speakers. So this one, a JVC one, and a Panasonic one. And it just gives you a proper idea of, what you're getting for your money here, where you could spend. I've got a JVC one for 130, which I'll be reviewing in a minute, which, trust me, sounds the same, if not better than this, and it's like under half the price. So for this money, I honestly would say steer clear, unfortunately, which is a shame because LG are a nice brand. I like the Xboom XG7, I believe it is, and 9. They're both all the XG range and the, God, there's so many numbers. The PL, the whatever. I've done reviews on them before, and they've all been very good. They honestly have. But this is frankly a letdown, and I wouldn't recommend this to anyone. So that's where I stand with this. If you want to see a proper sound test against the others, then look out for that coming out very soon.